Welcome to the Hip Hop Scholars. I'm your host, Malcolm Diggs. As always, I'm joined by Professor of Jigonomics at Oxford University and author of the self-help book, It Ain't Trickin' If You Got It, Dominus Bertram III.
Pleasure.
And to my right is the chair of the Hustlin' Department at Columbia University, who recently won a Pulitzer for his paper, Cash Rolls Everything Around Me, Early 90s New York Hip Hop and the 2008 Financial Meltdown. Dr. H.B. Yancey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm always gassed to be here.
And we are gassed as well. Thomas Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, Nate Dogg and Warren G. It is only every few decades that American storytelling is graced with a duo so courageous and so filled with adventure. But that is exactly what we found with the G-Funk masterpiece Regulate.
There's a lot of ground to be explored on this track. I actually wrote my thesis for the Sorbonne on Regulate.
Oh yes, Toulon and Lewis. Great paper. I read it.
Yes. It starts off like any other typical story. Nate Dogg on the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G.
Well, now keep in mind, this is 94. A mission to meet up with your homeboy was a much more difficult task than it is nowadays. You gotta remember, this is the old school. There's no cell phones back then.
Right, niggas just had to meet up by coincidence.
Exactly. Now, in his quest to find Warren J, Nate Dogg knows he sees some ladies peeping. But does he stop to have sex with them? No. He's a real nigga. He's got an appointment to keep with his boy, and he's not gonna let some skirt stand in his way.
And you know, those skirts just might as well have been the singing sirens. In that situation, any mere mortal would have stopped. But Nate Dogg, a true gangster, he does not.
He's on the bigger and bad things than some horny tricks.
Now, it should be noted, these tricks were looking so hard, they straight hit the curb.
Yes, but Nate Dogg, a true gangster, he still does not stop.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, at this point in the song, Warren G's driving and he sees a dice game on the sidewalk and he can't resist, right? He jumps out the ride, he says what's up, but what do these brothers do? They pull out some gats.
He's stuck.
All this trick in the LBC book.
Now, what does Warren G do in this situation? He does what any of us would do. He starts breaking himself. He starts giving these brothers his wealth.
They're taking his rings. They're taking his Rolex. Who knows what is next?
But then, right in the nick of time, Nate Dogg pulls up and sees some suckers all in his boy's mix. He knows it's time to regulate.
Now, Dominus, I'm going to stop you there because there's something very interesting that happens at this point in the song. Before Nate Dogg arrives, Warren G is staring death in the eye, right? He's beginning to contemplate a few things. He shares one of these fantasies in his verse that he wishes he would have wings so he could fly to escape this situation. Now, I find that fascinating. When Warren G is on the brink of death, does he fantasize about being born in a different socioeconomic background? No. Does he fantasize about maybe running with different crews besides Nate Dogg to avoid these types of situations? No, because those are not gangster. He fantasizes about having wings to fly away instead.
Okay, I really think at this moment that Warren G is bearing his soul. There's not much more that needs to be said about this verse, but 16 in the clip and 1 in the hole.
Well, it certainly is a masterpiece. I'd like to thank you for joining us today on Hip Hop Scholars, as well as my co-hosts, Dominus Bertram III and H.B. Yancey. Join us next week when we'll be discussing the existential themes of Ludacris's hit single, Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. As always, big ups, and protect your neck. Great show, guys. What are we gonna do now? Heard Drake's in town? We're trying to check that out.